Okay, it's now in crop mode. You don't see the hood. Is it 2.5K? Is it 1080p? Interesting, right? I'm using the Rode lavalier mic. It's at 2 for the air conditioning. I love this stretch of road. It has a park to the right. We're walking. I have a mailbox there, but I think that's for the building across the street. But anyway, how does the picture quality look? And the overheating just came on, okay? 1 bar. So I'm going to make it a little bit cooler at 3. So I just wanted to show you the difference between, this is 4K 30 in Texas, and it's 96 degrees outside, okay? So in the direct sunlight, it starts the overheating. And what makes it worse is with the wind or windshield, it's kind of like a magnifying glass. So when I test it, I'm not testing it normally. Now I have a dummy battery on, so that's why I don't have to change batteries. It's good for up to 6 to 8 hours, okay? And anyhow, I'm bringing up another decibel up to 4. So it's sunny right now, and it's still on bar, okay? Now, I recorded, 11 minutes before? Now I'm recording, and it's only been 2 minutes, okay? But I was dealing with some things in the menu. So the testing that I'm doing is for the overheating, and if this is too bright for you, I can deal with the compensation. I'm liking it at -1, so I can do that right now. And then enter. So see, I like it at -1, especially at night, but that might be too dark. All right. So it looked too bright at 0, and I've had it at 1/3 and 2/3 and stuff like that. But now it looks good because I'm in the sun. So I'm going to leave it at, my favorite setting on here is a -1 for the Canon. All right. I don't like any flaring from like stoplights and stuff. You notice how you look at the stoplights and you don't see any kind of like star or crosses or anything like that. At -1, you get kind of like a snowflake effect, and it looks cool. But the flaring, if you let it go, especially when cars are coming towards you, the headlights look single, and then as they get closer, then they kind of spread apart. But they're bright. So when I have it at a -1 exposure compensation, it looks like regular headlights. -2, it looks better. This can go to a -3, all right? So I don't know why they put in the stoplight and they got it blinking. I don't know if someone complained saying, hey, traffic moves faster. If you blink it, you don't have to wait. Well, it slows traffic down a little bit, but anyway. And it's still, yeah, it just went up to 3 bars. So it's only been 4 minutes, but it's in the direct sun, okay? So, what is the fix of it? Well, I got the same fan as Justin, okay? But he put the fan in front of the camera, and you know, right where the lens is. And I'm going to try that also. And you know, I love to experiment. You know, I've had PCs where I build my own PCs and stuff, and they're still working, still like Windows 10, but I do have some on Windows 11. But some of the older computers are still running good, they just won't allow it to go to Windows 11. And now they're coming out with Windows 12. So, anyway, it looks like I'm going to have to upgrade, unfortunately. And right now, I'm going to look for a shade. I'm going to put the fan to it, and then see what happens. Now, also I put the LCD screen up to the highest mark, I think 7, so I can see it in the daylight. You can't do that with the Sony, all right? And where's the shade? Okay, I'm looking for shade. These trees aren't big enough. This one is probably the best one right here, right by the fire hydrant, okay? So, it's in the shade right now. I got my fan. Put it at an angle. I know this is crazy, and I'm hoping it's not going to roll around. I could probably put it this way. And they're thinking, what is that guy doing? Yeah, let me put it the other way. It's more stable, I think. Okay. So it's at 4 bars. This will make a difference. So I'm blowing right in front on the bottom of the base and in front of the camera. So I'm seeing if this does anything. And I'm also in the shade. Okay, it's a dummy battery, and it's hooked up to an external power bank. Okay, and it's getting kind of cool in here, but remember, you got to keep driving. And guess what? No, it's still at 4 bars. So I'm trying to see in direct sunlight if this fan is going to work. And this is a USB rechargeable fan, by the way. So the goal is to see if I can record for 30 minutes. Now I did record for, I have not turned off the camera. So it's been on for, let's see, almost 20 minutes, 19 minutes, 11 minutes, 8 minutes, yeah, 19 minutes, okay? But it's been only recording for about maybe 15 minutes, all right? So guess what? I just went down from 4 to 3. So Justin may have something where you have the fan in front of the camera, same fan that I have, or he has, or we both have, and it is blowing at the base where the tripod is connected and toward the lens. And this is the 24 millimeter. And then, of course, I have the air conditioner on at 4. And I got a nice shirt where I'm protecting the microphone, so it should reduce the wind noise. I had that set on yesterday when I was outdoors, and you could hear the wind. But I didn't have the lavalier on. That's why I have it on now. So you hear just a little hissing. Turn it down. Okay, turn it down. That's even better. And then at the lowest one. All right? But I don't like it there because it may overheat. So I'm going to put it at 3 and see if that works. Well, what I usually do is when I come to a stop, I lower it so you can hear me better. But when I keep moving, then what happens is the air circulates inside the cab, and it does a pretty good job. So see, I'm in direct sunlight again. This is neutral, and it's not 10-bit or 2.2, okay? I just don't like color grading. I think it's too much work. I just want to test out cameras to see how they're doing. So this camera is a lot lighter than other full frame cameras, you know, with a viewfinder. The ZV-E1 is a little bit heavier in grams, but it's smaller in size and it overheats. And I see my fan's moving, but it's still in basically the same position. Okay? So the camera has gone down to 2 bars, folks. And this is bulb mode. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I could probably put in a different one. I've noticed that if you let the camera do all the thinking for you, it overheats a little bit. That's why a lot of people like the manual or the FV, okay? But I went through some settings and I put it the way I wanted it. And anyway, it is 98 degrees outside and my temperature is falling on the camera because I placed a fan in front of it. Now, if it feels like it's getting warmer, I'm going to turn up the air conditioner like I am right now. And it's gone down to 2 bars just by putting that fan on. So I made a comment to Justin saying, you know what? I'm thinking of getting the Ulanzi fan that mounts on the back of a camera. Of course, you have to have an external battery for it. I'll turn that down a little bit. And the only thing is, you got to get an external battery for it. So that's, you know, the battery life on cameras, you know, the ones with the built-in fans, like the GH6 and like the FX30. I don't know if the A7S3 has one, but the FX3 has one. I don't know about the FX6, but that seems reasonable if you have a fan keeping the camera cool. If you had a little bit bigger body with a heat sink, then it would be quiet, like what Apple does. But then they slow things down too, to make sure it doesn't overheat. But just by sitting here, not moving, it went up to 3 bars again, okay? So once this light turns, I'll be moving and I'll put up the air conditioning. But what do you think of the cloud? There we go. So in crop mode, okay, I'm going to turn it up to 4. What do you think? Isn't that spectacular? It goes uphill and you can look at the cloud formation and stuff. We need some rain, folks. And this keeps moving, so I'm going to put a little bit closer to that. But it's staying at 3 bars, you know, with that fan on. And I do have the air conditioner on pretty loud, or you know, that 4. But I like going down this road. You look at the vegetation and the flowers and IKEA flags. You know, everything looks spectacular. And the nice thing about that is you don't see the fan. Look at the cactus. And that parking lot is full for IKEA. Like, they want to go shopping for furniture that you put together. That doesn't make sense. Is it real wood or is it particle board? Oh well. So it's at 3 bars and it's 98 degrees outside. Now, I was watching Pascal with his video. So there's Floor & Decor. That's a big store right now. I may be doing this wrong. I don't really like the circles. Okay, so there's the Olive Garden, Longhorn Steakhouse. The Brew House, whatever that is. So I've been recording for 16 minutes. The goal on this one is to make sure it goes past 30 minutes, okay? And I got a 128 gig card in there. I did a video for over an hour last night. And guess what, folks? 69 gigabytes. That video looked awesome. And I thought it was in program priority. But guess what? Surprise. I don't know what the brew house is. So a lot of cars, a lot of people eating out. There's another coffee company, Black Rifle Coffee Company. I see Seattle, and of course there's Starbucks. But see, it went back down to 2, folks. Just with that fan in front of it. But you know what? That picture looks awesome. There we go. Just turn that off. See, the only problem is you turn off info and then you lose the overheating warning. I think I have to get in the left lane. Now they have those bars there, and I think what that is you can make a left if they put a store there in that area. That's what it is. It confused me, but if you notice, if they open it up, this part, well, you can't go to IKEA, but the thing is, you go to the left, and then you can make a left, but they got it left right here. But that's what it's for. I was trying to figure out why they did that, and that's why they did that. I like going up here at night because the green color on these lamps right here with the decorations look fantastic. Yeah, I may be doing it the wrong way, but it works for me, okay? And it's at 2 bars. So Justin, you have something there with the fan, keeping the camera cool. Turn it down to 2. See if that does anything. See if the bars come back up. And you got to remember, it's on the dash where the windshield acts like a magnifying glass. So I really test out different cameras, and I've had them. I even had the ZV-E10 overheat. All right. A7C once. ZV-1 Mark II, I had a problem with the battery coming out, and it's a dummy battery. But that camera was outstanding. It's my little favorite point and shoot. I was looking at the Mark 7, the RX100 Mark 7, but decided against that because it's a $1,200 camera, and I like the wider field of view, so that's why I went with that. 18 to 50, and it looks awesome at 18, like this same thing here. So see, it's at 2 bars, and I'm at only on the 3rd setting on the air conditioning, and it's in the direct sunlight. But that fan is helping. But I like this bulb mode. What mode do you shoot in? Bulb mode? What? What? What's that? I have no idea. But anyway, it's been 21 minutes, and it's still on 2 bars. What I used to do is put it in high definition, and it would cool up, or it wouldn't overheat that much. Sometimes the bars went up. But the thing is, folks, there's always workarounds, okay? It's kind of stupid to have a fan in front of the lens, all right? But then you got to remember, this body is more plastic, like the ZFC, okay? With the new ZF coming out, which I'm anticipating, I looked at the A7C2 and the A7RC, so I'm waiting for the ZF, see what Nikon comes. I love the extra dials on the Nikon. I like the menu system. I'm pretty well set up. I love Nikon, but I wanted a smaller camera to travel, and the A7C is outstanding. The 2 cameras, even the ZV-E10 is outstanding. But the smaller form factor and without an EVF. See, I don't mind rangefinder cameras, you know, like the A6100. I don't mind the tilt. On the flippy out screen, it's okay. Now remember, I got it at a -1. So I'm going to keep that camera usually at -1 exposure, and it's looking good. 4K 30, and I've been recording for 23 minutes, and it's staying on 2 in bulb mode. You know what? I'm not superstitious, but if something works, even if it's user error, like I usually do, I usually make a mistake, guess what? I'm going to keep it there. If it works, why break it? You know? Just let it do its thing. So I'm at 24 minutes. So let's go and find some deer, okay? And I did the smart thing. I put it on automobiles, you know, recognize automobiles. So the image should be a lot sharper. Last night I had it on people, and there was hardly any cars, and I didn't see any people because I was the only one up, except for the people driving in the other cars. But it's looking good. So I went up to 3, but that's because it's in the sun. What I'm also going to experiment is I'm looking at the trees for the shade. See if that's doing anything. I'll probably park in to see if it brings down the temperature. But what I'm looking at is not much. I do see a lot of shade right there. But then I have to go at the main entrance. See, they have bus stops here. They may have used them once or twice. That's it. Yeah, I'll go to the main entrance where most people go into. And it's still at 3 bars, folks. And it's a little bumpy over here. They got a speed bump and all that crap. Got a pretty good hamburger joint here, but that was in 2020. So I'm going to go here and go into the shade. And what I'm seeing is, let's see if it goes down to 2 or 1 setting. So now I'm in the shade, okay? But I'm parked. And it's at 3 bars. All right? 26 minutes. And it's been on since about 37 minutes. I have not turned off the camera. And if I look at my thing, my external battery, it's a little toasty. I think it's at 92%. Yeah, that's good. Leave it out. It's still at 3 bars. If I turn up the air conditioning, I want to see if it goes down to 2. And you don't see it, but I think the fan is doing a pretty good job. So it's keeping it from overheating. I just put it up to 4. It's been 28 minutes on this recording. I put it on neutral, and the only thing I did was a -1 exposure compensation. RF 24 millimeter. It's like a 35, 36 in the full frame equivalent. It's doing a good job. So I'm parked. I got another 191 miles to go before I fill up. I'm in no hurry. Now, I'm not outside. I'm inside of a cab, and I'm out of direct sunlight. So I'm cheating a little bit too. If I didn't have a fan, it'd probably be ready to overheat. I'm just trying different things. But I'm curious about the bulb mode on video. And they said that if you have it on crop mode, some features are turned off. Like maybe it's not 4K anymore, maybe it's 1080p. I don't know, because it still overheats. I've had it in 1080p, and it did a pretty good job. Now the 1080p 60 is a different story, but the 1080p 30, like in HDR, I had no problems with that. In fact, it looked pretty good. So, I got the Nikkor 27 millimeter f1.7 the DX lens for APS-C camera, put it on the ZFC, and best video yet that I did going downtown at nighttime. Excellent quality. I saw no focus breathing, and it was during the full moon. You know, I think it was the night after the blue moon, but still, that moon was huge, right between two skyscrapers. And what I like about the Canon and Nikon, you can take pictures while you're doing video. All right? Just hit the shutter button and it'll do that. So it just went down to 2, folks. And I'm not moving. But I do have it on the 4th setting. And I'm in the shade. I'm cheating. Give me a break. Now, I could turn off the fan. And oh, by the way, Justin, I just have it on setting 1. I don't want it too noisy. And I don't want it flying around the cab either. I saw how you duct taped your fan to keep it from moving. That's something to, you know, with one of your kids, if they're young, you get a skate, you put that fan on, and you don't have to buy a Matchbox car or whatever. You just put the fan on it and let him try to chase it. That'd be kind of neat. So it's at 2 bars. So here it is, past 30 minutes, folks. Met my goal, but I'm going to be driving, and we're going to search for some deer. Okay? Yesterday I walked, and today I'm just going to drive around the neighborhood to see how the overheating issue is handled. And I think I have to go over here to exit. See that guard shack? So you have to get to the right in order to leave. There's a big parking space. They knocked down, I think, 8 where they, what is it, for the horses, you know, before a race. So they knocked down 8 buildings, you know, stalls, okay? And each stall has something like 20 of them. They're supposed to build a hospital over here. I don't know when, and I hope it's not one of those 24-hour ones. I hope it's a major one. But anyway, bumpy, moving the fan back where it was. And it just went down to 1 bar, folks. So I think the fan does help, but I'm not outside. All right, outside it's 100 degrees. Yesterday around 5 o'clock, or was it 6 o'clock? Something like that, where it was still under 100 degrees, and I could deal with it. But there was a wind going, and I didn't feel the wind, but it picked it up on the internal mic. So I dealt something with that also, with the, I put it to setting number 2. So you should hear less noise, and I hope my voice is not too quiet. So it's not peaking, and it's more like at 50% instead of 80%. So this is a test trial too. I'm not wearing any headphones, okay? And it just went down to 1 bar. Oh my goodness. So I think your camera acclimates to the ambient temperature or stuff, gets used to it, and then it can deal with it. So it just went to 2. So depending on the way I turn and if I go into any shades, it might do better. But that fan is doing a job. Now, there's another thing I was thinking of. If you had the LCD screen shut, okay, or turned off, with that camera keep cool. See, there's something that other people didn't think about. Because Justin is right. You see that squirrel go across? You touch the back of the camera and it's not warm. Not warm at all. So it's probably the sensor that's overheating and is coming out through the lens. Okay? With the ZFC, with the plastic, it has holes on the top, and I think a lot of the heat dissipates from those small holes, and that's for the microphone. So, anyway, I'm going to go with this route. Okay, so what I usually do is this. I turn left here, because this is where mainly the deer start showing up. You know, these empty fields, but they're in the shade. And there is some heavy forest or wooded areas, and they conjugate. And they have different pods. I think that's what you call it, all right? Different family groups. And it's still on 2 bars, by the way, folks. I love this bush right here. And I don't know if that's a crepe. No, that's not a crepe myrtle, I don't think. No, that's a different bush, but I like it. So right where you see some wooded areas, that's where the deer are. Or, no, you see there's a deer, 3 deers up there, okay? Underneath the tree. You see the little wind fan? And just before that, you'll see 3 deer. You see their heads, but they're laying down trying to keep cool. And they're trying to rest. So I usually go this way. I like the way he has that American flag up there. And I like the metal roof. I don't know about black. I might make it the Miami green color, which I like. Because that's what I have the trim with my bright sunny yellow. And the yellow matches well with my red and yellow brick. You know, it has little yellow streaks in the brick. So, I'm color coordinated, folks. I'm sorry. I like neatness. I like to be tidy. I like things in order. I don't like surprises. And it just went up to 3 bars, but that's okay. Fan's still working, and I still got it on number 1. I'm pretty sure if I put it on 2 or higher, it might go down. But all you need is a little airflow. That's all you need. Peter Gregg, with his iMac, had that problem. And there was no way for the air to escape. It was just, there was a little opening underneath the where the monitor stand was, and put ice cubes or the frozen packs, all right, with the fan blowing, and it cooled down his iMac pretty much. That solved his overheating problem. But me, you don't have to buy the best processor. You can buy the one lower, and it'll work just as good. Okay. I don't think he had a stop sign. So I'm driving slower. It's at 3 bars. I don't know if that makes a difference, but it is 100 degrees outside. Okay? Remember, it's on the dash. And that may be something on the camera. Remember, the camera is black. So I've seen some videos where if you get the white camera, you know, like on the R50 or even on the ZV-E10, they even have one for the ZV-1 Mark II. Okay, so here's those 3 deer again. I don't know if you can see them. And now I'm getting into the shady part of this neighborhood. I'm looking forward to see if any more deer. Yeah, I don't notice them. So I've been recording for 40 minutes. I'm not going to go up and down. I'm just going to go a little bit across this way. I love this guy's yard. He has no fence, and I see the deer in here all the time. And I'm going to make a right here. Go up the water tower. And then I'll go past the cemetery. Sometimes you can see deer up there also. But I see it's going in between 3 and 2, so it's trying to reduce to 2, which is a good thing. And I don't know if it's the fan. Let's do it this way. So what I got it pointed to is to the base, to the bottom of the lens, okay, and right where the hinge is with the LCD screen, all right? And I see it going back and forth between 2 and 3. I'm driving slow. I only saw 3 deer. They may be up here in this wooded area. They move around quite a bit, folks. But it is hot. It is 100 degrees. I got it on the 3 setting. So I'm looking for a couple of deer that I usually see around here. You can see all the woods, the trees. There's a cemetery to the right. But guess what, folks? This is lasting longer than the Z30. ZFC is no slouch either, but with this fan, guess what? 44 minutes. And actually, if you add the 11 minutes I did before, it's 55. But it's been on for over an hour without turning it off. I was messing with the settings too. Isn't that something? So there's the blinking stoplight. So if they have it blinking, I guess it's better. I don't know why they didn't put a stop sign. I think a lot of people just ignore the stop sign and then they just go. moving. I have to do something. So I went up the 4 bars. I just moved the fan a little bit because when I make a turn, it rolls around the dash. But still, all right, if I can make it in an hour, and it'd be like another hour and 10 minutes. Camera's supposed to stop recording after 2. All right, I got a 128 gigabyte V90 full IPB. So it'll be like another 69, 70 gigabyte file. But it's working, okay? So I'm making it stretch as long as possible. I could have, yeah, they picked up my trash and recycle. But they didn't pick up everybody's trash and recycle. That's the, I think it's the recycle guy because it's blue. And that's a big question on what can be recycled. I get different answers all the time. Sometimes plastic, you know, like milk jugs and stuff like that. I don't know. Glass, of course. Metal. Plastics is a different thing. Some paper products, like pizza boxes and Amazon boxes and stuff like that, can be recycled. It's just the plastic that you have to look at. But anyhow, what do you think of the sky? I think it's dramatic. I love. I got area focus on number 3, so it's just above the hood, and it does recognize the cars, so it should be in pretty much focused. So on this clip, it's 48 minutes. I'm just trying to stretch it for 60 minutes, folks. I still got the -1 exposure compensation. I'm liking that. And in bulb mode. Who would have known? And it's at 3 because I'm at a stop. I put it at 4. I don't know if it's handling it. I'm just trying to see if it goes down. I'm also experimenting with the fan, if I should bring it closer or farther away. I have no idea. But it's not moving right now, so I left it where it is. And it's on the lowest setting. So it is at 4 bars. I do have the air conditioning up a little bit, but remember, I've cheated a little bit. I went underneath the shade to see if it went down, if the fan is working. And the fan is doing an okay job. It's just that it's hot with that windshield. You know, the magnifying glass effect. I had it a 30-minute time limit. Well, I passed that. Now I'm going for an hour again, but in the daytime. All right. This is hard to do with many cameras, but I would have never thought I've used a fan. Now, with the tripod I have on, I finally got it working just right. It's a low profile ZDO tripod, okay, tabletop, with the ProMaster ball head, 1/4 inch, and it's a good pair. Zito does have their own, but I think it's more stable with this one. This one's a little bit taller than the Zito one, with their ball head mounted on the same tripod. But anyhow, moving around. So this guy that did the blue bonnet had a tee off for golf, and he had a trailer, and he built this building, and it's a dance hall, country and western. And when that started making money, he got rid of the golf course, sold the land, and now Penske, I think, owns it, or another company. So he made money off of that. Yeah, a little dip right there. 51 minutes, folks. I'm debating if I should go and get me a meal. But I want to drive to show you some scenery. So I like going down this road right here. And I mean, yeah, I didn't make the light. That's okay. It has some trees and shade. And I like the -1 exposure. I think it's just right. And it's still at 4 bars. All right, moved it back down to 3 since I'm at a stop. Don't dare to put it on 2. If I put it on 2, it's real quiet. Put it on 1, you can't hear it. But then you really don't get any air circulation. And you have to move in order to get some. So I'm doing that right now. So what I'm thinking is when I get going again, I'll go down this road a little bit, take a left at Savannah Drive, go down 3009 and go to Slotsky's and order me a sandwich for a celebration. I could make a left here, but nah, let's enjoy the view. I'm enjoying this recording. I think it's at 5 bars now, but it does have some shade. But I'm still in the sun, okay? And I just put it up to 4. I don't know if that makes a difference. But I think the fan did help, okay? I did not use the fan last night, even if I brought it with me. I consider these cameras like vampires, okay? Sun hits it, they die. Well, guess what? Almost an hour on this recording, and it's doing great. And I got a V90, which is a fast write and read speed. Okay. SanDisk Extreme Pro SD card. So it's kind of nice going down this road. Last night I drove 281 through Evans and went back to 16. Went down Verde to 1604 again. There's Savannah Drive. So when you see a flash in yellow, there are still cars incoming. So you see, I didn't make it. Okay. I'll bring it down to 2. And it just went up to 1, 2, 3. Might be going to 6 right now. Okay? So I think it does make a difference. I move the fan a little bit also. Okay. Back down to 5. All right. But I'm moving. So I'll put it up to 4. And it does have shade on this road. I don't want to cheat. I did that earlier. In fact, I am cheating with the fan, but, you know. Feel the back of the camera, I feel no heat. Feel the bottom of the camera, I feel no heat. So it's got to be the sensor and where the lens is, okay? That's the only thing I can think of. But the picture looks awesome. And I'm in the shade. You know, if I'm feeling the front of the camera, it doesn't feel warm either. The picture looks awesome though, okay? And on this recording they have 57 minutes during the daytime. So Peter Gregg couldn't believe I had it on bulb mode. You know, I thought I had it on FB or program priority last night, and then I forgot that there's the settings that you can create, 1 and 2 on this camera. R6 Mark II, we have 3, but you know, you can't see in the dark, and it was either in FB mode or I thought it was in program priority. I didn't want to do in manual. I didn't want to deal with the settings, and I just wanted the exposure compensation. And lo and behold, when I looked at it this morning, it was in bulb mode. And like I said before, I didn't know what that was. But in stills with the bulb mode, it just leaves the it open more. At a longer time, at a certain time. And it went down from 6 to 5. So that little ride helped out. And I'm on the last minute of 60 minutes, folks. I'm ready to celebrate. So I've charged this USB fan. It used to be my mom. She passed away in February. And I like it. It's very quiet. It has 3 settings. There we go. Got other restaurants too that I was interested in. Anchor Bar. That's interesting. I have Taco Cabana. And I want a Slotsky's. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bingo. And I need something to drink. Oh. I've been talking too much. I'm losing my voice. But I hit the 1 hour mark. Sorry. I need something to drink. Okay. I don't want to go to QT, but they got one here. We're down to 2. Of course, you can hear the turn signal, unfortunately. Okay, made it. And I gotta remember where Slavsky's is. I messed up, I think, because there's a hotel. This is a nice park. I've been this way. You get the theaters and stuff, some shops. So I'm gonna make a U-E here. Yep, there's the theater. I went too far. And I turned right too soon. So, I have to backtrack. I'm getting to that hour and 10 minutes again. I'm wondering about the 2-hour record limit. You know, the Z9 will do 2 hours and 5 minutes. So when it said 2 hours, everybody couldn't believe, oh, it did 2 hours. Well, they cheated. Here's a bank. There we go. There's something wrong with it. Turn. I think it's right off Credit Union. Here's Taco Cabana. Here's Sonic. And here's Schlotzky's. They got a Chili's and a TGIS, but I think they're closing. So I have to go around the building in order to order. Outstanding. Now you're going to hear me order.
How can I help you today?
I'd like to have the deluxe original, please.
Is a medium okay?
Excuse me?
Is a medium deluxe original okay?
How about large?
Alright, a large deluxe original. And just to confirm with you, that's going to be $16.98 for the sandwich. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine, because I can eat it for a couple of days.
Did you want everything on that?
Yes.
And
And
can that as the meal?
can I have the, no, I just want a large iced tea.
Alright.
Sweet. Sweet iced tea. Okay.
So you said a large unsweet tea?
Oh, no. Sweet tea.
Large sweet tea? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Alright, no chips with that to make it a meal?
No.
Alright, what else can I get you?
That's it, thank you.
Alright, so John, deluxe and a large sweet tea is going to come out to 20 even.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, they went up in price. Just remember it was $13. Now it's like 20 with a large iced tea. And I'm in the shade, okay? So let's see if the temperature goes down. 1 hour, 5 minutes. Fan's blowing pretty good. I'm feeling underneath the lens. It does not feel warm, okay? Man, the back may feel a little bit, but not as warm as like I get on the ZFC or especially on the Z30. So I think a viewfinder does help. I'm feeling on top of the camera, I do feel heat though, okay, on top. And I'm just going to try something. I'm going to blow it on the top of the camera, see if it does anything. You know, I'm doing it from the back. It may work, it may not work. I don't know. I'm doing it around the battery compartment. I'm also using the air conditioning to see if I can make it cooler. But it's staying at 5 bars. All right? In the daylight. That's unreal with the R8. Okay? But I'm cheating. I'm in the shade. I'm using a fan. It's a very quiet fan. Okay? Put it back in front. I just got tired of holding it. You know what? Yeah. So I'm hoping that it's not, see there's the fan. I'm hoping that it hasn't messed up the lens. You know, on the video. It doesn't look like it. I'm glad I have it cropped. But I thought I'd try it in the daytime. I did not use this at nighttime last night. There you go.
Thank you.
It's at 92 still on the power. That's excellent. Oh, thank you. No. That's good. Thank you. So I close the window. The only thing I don't like about these straws is it's hard to get the paper off. And then they tear in pieces. I see a lot of college kids work at Slotsky's. Gotta keep an eye on the door. So, it's going down to 4 because I'm in the shade. But Justin, guess what? I'm about 34, 33 seconds away from 1 hour and 10 minutes. I think by the time I'm finished, it'll be the 2-hour mark. And we'll see if it stops recording. I got a 128 gig card in here, so I'm not too worried about the disk space. I'm just wondering if it's going to stop recording. I bet no one ever figured with the R8 about that situation. Yeah, it's down to 4. Like I said, it's a vampire. The sun will kill it. Now, I'm not outside, and I know you've done some things on the outside, but then you let it cool down for 15 minutes, and then you got a longer recording. And I know I'm cheating because I'm inside of a car where the cab is pretty cool. Thank you very
Have a nice
much.
day.
Thank you. So I am cheating, okay? But you know what? For $1,500, I already had the lenses for the Canon, and they're the cheap ones, all right? It's doing great. Yeah, I'm going to extend it a little bit. I'm going to make a U on the highway. I'm going to go this way. I was going on the highway, but I decided to go this way. So, if you like this type of content, please give me a like, subscribe. Any questions or comments, please put it down below. Man, that sandwich smells good. I just want to thank you for tagging along. And there's the charging stations. Look at all the electric vehicles being charged. So I would get a hybrid. That way you fill it up, you get a longer distance, you don't have to plan your trips getting charged, okay? There's got to be an equal weight system where if something fails, you got a backup. So if the electric batteries fail, I know they have a front and back. With hybrids, it's usually like, what, 20 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour before the engine kicks in? I don't know. I don't own one. And it went down to 4 from 5. Okay. And it's at 112 minutes. Or I mean an hour and 12 minutes. I got 8 minutes to get home. And we'll see if that 2-hour time limit is baked into the camera. But look how crystal clear 4K 30 is. Do you really need 4K 60? That's the question I'm saying. If you're in a moving vehicle or on a bike, I would recommend 4K 30. If you're walking around or stationary, 4K 24 is fantastic. It beats 1080p 60, which is still good. The 1080 30 HDR looks good also. But I did an experiment. I've experimented 1080 upscale to 4K and stuff. It did not look the same as 4K going to 1080. Okay? You can't tell the difference. You would think it might be in crop mode or something, but actually it's not. And I'm going to make a left up here and go through the warehouse district because I don't want to go all the way through Nacogdoches. This is just another way of avoiding the traffic going through a back road. And it's still at 4 bars. Okay? Now, I got the fan diagonally, Justin. So it's blowing from the base in front, underneath the lens, to the battery compartment. And the temperature is going down. So I have it at an angle. And it's in direct sunlight. So we were pointing it, I was actually pointing it at the LCD screen where the hinge is to the bottom of the base, okay? And I have a low profile tripod And what I was worried about was the fan in my picture. I picked it up a couple of times and it looks like it's out of the picture right now. Okay? But by doing that, guess what, folks? It's cooling the camera down. Oh my goodness. So just pointing it, you know, kind of like not crossways, but still pointing in front of the lens and the camera, but pointing it also toward the battery compartment where the SD card is. I did mention a couple of times, depending on the SD card, it may give off a lot of heat. With my Nikon CF Express B cards, bump, ooh, and another bump coming up. Oh my. They overheated my Nikon cameras, and they were at 4K 30. So what I did was I started recording to the SD cards, and the overheating went away. My Z6 II and Z7 II can do 4K 60, and they overheat, you know, after 15 minutes, just like this camera. And I think they're a little bit bigger than this camera. Okay? So, on the overheating issues, there's always workarounds. And I'm trying to stretch it so it's at 1 hour and 17 minutes. I'm trying to debate if I should go. See, a lot of people, they think 1 hour and 30 minutes, all right? Is a long time, but 2 hours is yeah, 120 minutes. So I'm 3 minutes away. Okay? I'm getting confused with an hour and a half, which is 90 minutes. So in 3 minutes, 2 minutes actually, because it's at 1:18 right now. Let's see if it turns off the recording. I bet no one has done that test before. This will be a first. And I've only had this camera for, gosh, I think I picked it up on Friday. Or was it Saturday? No, I picked it up on Friday. So, or was it Saturday? I can't remember. It was like 2 or 3 days, all right? And I've already done, I think this will be my 6th video on this camera. And I'm quelching all the stigma. Now, I will say this, same thing with the PC community, the graphics card and the processor. You sometimes get a diamond in the rough, and sometimes you get you know, a pretty crummy thing, which is rare, but it does happen. I've had that in memory modules, power supplies, and processors. And most of the time the processors had a bent pin or something, but I could correct that, just as long as it didn't break. But, you know, just depends what it's going. It's still recording, and I'm 5 seconds away to 2 hours. So if it shuts off, thanks for watching. And guess what? It's still going. I do not have a warning saying, hey, it only records for 2 hours. So is it Well, this is 1 hour and 20 minutes. Does it say 2 hours? And the police car just stopped a Mustang for speeding. Love it. Yep, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Huh. So it must be the complete 2. Didn't have to exchange any batteries out, take them out. Didn't have to buy me an extra grip, battery grip. Camera's doing good. It's in the sun. And I'm starving. But with the RF 24mm, it's a champ. Great lens, great picture quality. I've used the 28mm and I've used the 35mm. I think I used the 35mm on the studio setup with this camera, and it looked awesome. I had the 50mm on the R6 Mark II, and I had the 24 on the R10, but I've also used the 16mm, 24, 35. I don't think I've used the 50 or 85mm. I did use the 1-400 yesterday. Okay, I did not use any of the EFS lenses on this camera, and it just went up to 6. So, they did say what, 2-hour limit? Okay, so I got 6 bars. That's all right. I'm happy. It's a long video. Picture quality is excellent. So just remember to stay safe, keep smiling, and next time I will see you then. Goodbye, folks.